to the Larks Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 6 of the 2020 Hayes Larks season. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Tonight's matchup features the Colorado Springs Outlaws and the Hayes Larks. The first batter for the Outlaws is Jaden Hagman, the third baseman. He's down the count 0-2. Excuse me, 0-1 after the foul ball to right field. Pitcher for the Larks tonight is Patty Walsh from Fort Hays State University. He's a tall righty from Fort Hays State. So he's familiar with this park. We share this park with the Tigers. Colorado native. This year for the Tigers, Patty went 7 appearances, 31 innings, a 1-5 record. Started all 7 games. He's an alumni of Dodge City Community College. He made 11 appearances his sophomore year. As we're going to get a base runner here with nobody out in the top of the first. Bryce McKee up to the dish now, the second baseman. Continuing on Patty Walsh, he's a 6'6 junior, and his time at Dodge City Community College, his last full season of collegiate play, 59 innings, 1 complete game, struck out 48 guys, only walked 36. He has a run on first with nobody out. He'll peek over at Hagman and deliver to tonight's catcher, Jacob Wyeth, and misses low 1-0. Defensively for the Larks is Drew Burr in left field, Leo Jiminian in center, Sean Cooper in right, Palmer Hutchinson at third base, Pearson at shortstop, Long at second, Trussell at first, and Wyeth behind the dish. 1 ball, 1 strike after McKee washes one in the zone. Walsh played for the Wichita Sluggers last year, made 8 appearances with a 2-run record, struck out 37 guys through 38 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike, righty to righty. This one chopped shallow. It rolls into foul territory on the left side, about 15 feet in front of home plate. 1-2 count now for McKee. McKee from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. Due up for the Outlaws will be Scholes, Olsen, and Bates following McKee's at-bat. McKee will have to protect the plate here, down the count versus Patty Walsh. Walsh delivers one that gets by the glove of Wyeth, and the runner will advance 90 feet to second base. There's a runner in scoring position with nobody out after the wild pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Larks beat the Outlaws last night in Game 1 of this 2-game series, 11-1 in 8 innings. Wyatt Divis had a walk-off. This one, one that drops down low. Wyeth stops it from the turf. Full count now for Bryce McKee. He's worked himself back into the count after being down 1-2. Walsh gets a sign from Wyeth. He'll get set, go from the stretch. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Tipped into Wyeth's glove, actually. It's the first strikeout of the season for Patty Walsh in his first appearance. So now every member of the Larks has made an appearance this season. Walsh the last guy to do so. 1 away, runner at second base for Toby Scholes, the left fielder. Scholes from the Colorado School of Mines, listed as the first baseman on the roster. He's playing in left field tonight. Walsh checks over at Hagman with a peek, then delivers to Wyeth. It misses outside on off speed, 1-0. Smaller crowd here at Larks Park tonight compared to last night. Slight breeze moving in from right center field. Walsh delivers one that Scholes can't make contact with. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Scholes, a lefty at the plate, has a better angle at Walsh, the northpaw. This one, a slow swing, rounded to the right side. Lung hits it with his glove, knocks it down, picks it up with his opposite hands, and throws it from the ground to Corbin Truslow. A nice play from the second baseman to get out number 2 for the Larks. Lung flashing that glove early this season. In the meantime, Jaden Hagman moves to third base. Two away, runner on third base for Justin Olson, the cleanup hitter. Olson from the College of Southern Nevada. He's tonight's starting first baseman and cleanup hitter. Off speed outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Last night, Justin Olson went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a pop-up, and a flyout. 2-0 is the count on Olson. Walsh from Aurora, Colorado, had a full ERA in his full record at Dodge City over his 2 years there of 8-5. So runners on the corners with 2 away following an error by Corbin Truslow. And a run came across the score. That was Hagman reaching off the RBI from Olson. 1-0 lead for the Outlaws. They started both games with a lead versus the Larks. Last night, Larks rallied, ended up run ruling the Outlaws. This one lined over to the shortstop spot. Cam Pearson gets it with his left hand. We'll move to the bottom of the first. Larks trailing the Outlaws 1-0. Bottom of the first for Larks, from Larks Park. Leading off is a center fielder, Leo Jiminian, his 6th straight game leading off from center field, 0-1. On the mound for the Outlaws is Brady Choban from Marshall University. Was ranked the 34th overall player coming out of Colorado in 2018. Committed to Marshall this year in the condensed season, made a team leading 4 starts through 17 2/3 innings. Leo Jeminian grounds one to the second baseman. The throw from Makita. Olsen pulls Olsen off the bag. It's ruled a hit. So Leo Jeminian is on base. The speedy center fielder can do damage on the base paths as Grant Lung, tonight's second baseman batting in the 2-hole, steps up to the plate. Choban had an ERA of 6.62 at Marshall. Lung grounds his first pitch on a Baltimore chop to Hagman at the third base spot. Olsen can't get a grip on it as he tries to dig it from the ground. There's 2 on with nobody out. That's a tough throw and a tough one to pick up. It'll be ruled an error. So 2 on, nobody out for the Larks. Now to Wyatt Divis, the dangerous DH. Juban's record on the season, 1-2. Picked up a win against Akron, loss against Florida and UNCW. (0-1) on Divis. Swings at this one, fouls it back into the left. 1-1. 0-2. On deck is Truslow in the hole, Jacob Wyeth. Protecting the plate here is Divis will stay at 0-2. Divis in last night's ball game played in left field, had 2 hits and 4 at-bats, scored twice and had a walk. Swings at this one. They'll rule him out after the pass ball, but both runners advance. 2 in scoring position with 1 away for the Larks.
First baseman number 29 from Fort Hays State University, Corbin Truslow.
1 away for the cleanup hitter, Corbin Truslow. Truslow on fire right now. Believe he reached base each plate appearance last night, and he did. 4 plate appearances, 1 hit by pitch, a walk, and 2 singles. Those 2 singles were part of a stretch for him where he had 5 singles and 6 at-bats. Sends his first delivery over to the left side into the fan pavilion. 0-1. Choban has a career record of 1-3. Had an ERA of 17.47 his first year at Marshall. Truslow makes good contact with this one, fouls it far over to the right side into the Outlaws bullpen by right field. 0-2. Truslow on the season, batting .600 through his first 5 games. Grounds this one to Ambiel at the shortstop spot. They'll try and throw across the diamond. They get Truslow out by a step, but he drives in Leo Jeminian. Game is now tied up at 1 apiece with 2 away as Long moves to third base. First throw from the Outlaws across the diamond that didn't allow a base runner to reach. For Corbin Truslow, that's RBI number 5 on the season. And now it's Jacob Wyeth at the dish. Fouls his first pitch off 0-1. Jomanian just scored his 6th run of the season. He now broke his tie for the lead and now single-handedly holds the lead. Truslow also broke the lead for RBIs. 0-2, 2 away. On deck is Palmer Hutchinson. In the hole, Sean Cooper. Jovan delivers. It gets past Mayberry. Grant Lung will jog home and give the Larks the lead. 2-1 here in Hayes. And now Wyeth is in a 1-2 count. He'll take some practice cuts. Get ready to step back in the box. Righty versus righty. 2 away, bases empty. And he will be able to advance to first base after a pass strike 3.
Third baseman number 4 from Kansas City Community College, the beverage batter, Palmer.
So now to Palmer Hutchinson, the 6th hole, tonight's starting third baseman. Hutchinson played last night in the game. And in his time, went 1 for 4 with a strikeout and a run scored. Runner on first base with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Larks leading the Outlaws 2-1. Leo Jomanian started this inning with a single. Lung followed up, reaching on an air. Divish struck out. Both runners advanced. Truslow grounded out to drive Jomanian in. Then Wyeth was at the plate when Grant Lung came around on a pass ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Hutchinson. Due up for the Outlaws is Shaw, Mayberry, and Carpenter. Delivery is low and outside, 2-0. Larks looking good against Choban. For the Outlaws, has had some times where he's missed the zone and they get by the catcher, Mayberry. But when he's in the zone, the Larks have managed to get some balls and play off of him. A hack from Palmer Hutchinson. He misses it. 2 balls, 1 strike. On deck, Sean Cooper. In the hole, Cameron Pearson. Choban gets a sign from Mayberry. Mayberry delivers off the plate. 3-1 hitters count now for the third baseman. Hudge on the season, 4 for 13 with 1 RBI and 5 runs scored. Hitters count now for the Lark, and he'll take a 5-pitch walk.
Right fielder number 18 from Cochise Community College, Sean Cooper.
2 out, 2 on for Sean Cooper, the right fielder. Cooper has started all the games in right field. He's 1 for 4. He went 1 for 4 last night with a run scored. On the season, Cooper is 5 of 16 with 5 singles, 3 RBIs, and he's come around and touched home plate 5 times. It's Hutchinson on first, Wyeth on second, Cooper at the dish. Joban misses the zone, 1-0 on Cooper. He had 2 outs, and he allowed Wyeth to reach first, then walked Hutchinson on 5 pitches. Now is down the count, 1-0. Count's evened up as it's called strike 1. The 7th hitter of the inning for Hayes. Larks have just 1 hit. Two and 1. Joban takes a couple looks at Wyeth at second base. and delivers. Back-to-back hitters counts for Hayes. Scholes in left for Colorado Springs. Carpenter in center. Bates in right. Olsen at first. McKee at second. Ambiel at shortstop. Hagman at third. And Mayberry behind the dish. This one's grounded over to McKee. He'll gather it and then throw it to Olsen for out number 3. Larks get 2 off the Outlaws in the bottom half of the first. We head to the second here, 2-1. Top of the second we go. Leading it off is Mitchell Shaw, the designated hitter for the Outlaws. After hitting Hagman to start off the game for Walsh, bounced back and got back-to-back outs off of a strikeout and a ground out. Then a runner reached on an error and drove in a run. And then Walsh composed himself and got a line out.
Catcher number 13, Tanner Mayberry.
That would officially ruled an error on. Scoreboard says E4 Grant Lung. Runner on first with nobody out in the top of the second. 0-1. Now batting is Tanner Mayberry, the catcher, 7th hitter of the game for Colorado Springs. So many of the Larks brought to the plate in the first inning. Off speed from Walsh, drops down in the zone, ends up going right down the middle, 0-2. 2 errors for the Larks, 1 for Colorado Springs. No balls, 2 strikes. Off speed, he gets Mayberry to reach for it. The runner takes off from first. It's going to be a double play as Wyatt throws it out. Mitchell Shaw trying to steal. A great turn of events for the Larks as now there's 2 away and the bases are empty. That's Walsh's second strikeout of the season and just his first appearance. Nice performance, and that at bat from Walsh got up in the count 0-2. Then he held all the control. Mayberry was forced to have to protect, and he got him to look foolish on a swing. And Walsh is now in a rhythm as he gets a strike 1 called on A.J. Carpenter, the center fielder. 2 out in the top of the second after the double play. Second double play Wyeth has been a part of from behind the plate. Scoreboard reads 1 ball, 1 strike. Larks leading the Outlaws 2-1. On deck is Hayden Ambiel, the bottom of the order for Colorado Springs. Outlaws scored last inning off of no hits. Called strike 2 on Carpenter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the second. Walsh will go from the windup, delivers a curveball that is grounded softly to Truslow, who will toss it to Walsh. Walsh steps on the bag. 3 up, 3 down for the Outlaws in the second. We head to the bottom half of the inning. Bottom of the second, Cameron Pearson leading it off. Easton Knight's shortstop. He's played in third base and left field, and apparently he's a catcher because last night he got in to replace Max McGuire after McGuire went down with an injury. Pearson looked really nice behind the plate. 1-0, he sends into shallow right center field. Bates has to run into it after misjudging it. It's going to drop about 5 feet in front of him. Pearson gets greedy and steals second successfully. The throw was in there in time. McKee had to grab it away from the bag on his right-hand side facing left field. Pearson slid on the inside part of the bag. Smart slide from the shortstop to get himself a double. A bad read from Bates, and it's rolled a hit. So now to Drew Burr, bottom of the order, the left fielder. Second hit of the game for the Larks. The first one belongs to Leo Jeminian. Burr turns his hands like he's about to swing, lays off, 0-1. Good hustle from Pearson, gets him in scoring position. You might have seen a guy pop one up like that, jog to first base, assuming it's an out. He went all the way 180 feet, full speed, and it paid off for the shortstop from Cochise College. Burr swings at this one, misses it, 0-2. Burr last night 1 for 3 with a run scored, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. Stat sheet suffer. Has to defend the plate, defend the count, grounds one over to McKee. And McKee gets it at second base, tosses it to Olsen. 1 out for the Larks, but Pearson moves over to the third base. So now top of the order, Leo Jeminian, the center fielder, singled in the first, came all the way around. 1 away, bottom of the second. Larks up 1 against Colorado Springs. Chabon on the rubber will go from the stretch. Jeminian takes strike 1 looking, 0-1. On deck is Grant Long in the hole, Wyatt Divis for Hayes. 0-1 delivery from Jabon off the turf. 1-1. Turf infield for Hayes all the way around. And in the outfield, it's a grass outfield, dirt warning track, I should say. Off the glove of Mayberry, this will be a pass ball as Pearson touches home plate, and it's 3-1 lead for Hayes. Good base running from Pearson. Gets in standing up. For Cameron, that is his 5th run scored this season. Two-one, base is empty, becomes a 2-2 after a swing and a miss from Leo Jeminian. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shaban will go from a small windup. Jeminian swings at this one, sees that it was dropped, then it heads to first base. They'll throw him out. Mayberry having a little bit of struggles behind home plate tonight. Mayberry is not on the original Colorado Springs roster. He's a write-in. 2 away now in the bottom of the 2nd for Grant Lung. Lung 0 for 1 of the day. He reached on an error from Hagman in the 1st. Due up for Colorado Springs is Hagman, McKee, and Scholes. No balls, 1 strike on Grant Lung. Lung had that nice play at second base in the 1st inning. And he sends this one up the middle. Joban reaches for it, can't grab it. Ambio gets it, fires it from shortstop to Olsen at first base, and Lung is out in time. Larks get 1 in the 2nd. We head to the 3rd. Larks 3, Colorado Springs 1. Top of the 3rd, Patty Walsh returns for his 3rd inning of work. It's Hagman's 2nd look at Patty as his first delivery misses outside. 1-0. Hagman reached in the 1st, came around to score the only run for the Outlaws. 1 ball, 1 strike, now in the 3rd baseman. The 1-1 from Walsh, nicely located, called strike 2. And a swing and a miss. It's a drop ball from Jacob Wyeth, reacts to it quickly, gets to his feet, and then moves and gets it to Corbin Truslow. 1 up, 1 down, 3rd strikeout in 2 1/3 innings for Patty Walsh, and now it's Jaden Hagman. That is my bad. Hayden Ambia was the shortstop. He was the bottom of the order that just struck out. One away now to Jaden Smith, who reached in the first inning, came around to score. One ball, no strikes. One now after the strike from Walsh. Shakes one off from Wyeth. He'll go from the windup. This one misses far inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. In this freshman year at Dodge City Community College, he had an opponent batting average of .250. In his sophomore year, in 1 more appearance but 22 more innings pitched, had an OBA of .299. A hitter's count now for the third baseman. And it is a 1-out walk. Runner on first with 1 away now for Colorado Springs. Now to Bryce McKee, the second baseman, was Walsh's first strikeout victim of the game. Top of the third from Hayes, Kansas. 3-1 lead for Hayes. Walsh shakes a couple signs off. Agrees on it. Looks at Hagman, who was on base for the second time tonight. Showing bunt is the batter McKee. Pulls back as Wyeth checks over at Hagman at first. Good idea. Just a little high on the throw. Allowed Hagman to get back in safely. No balls, 1 strike now on McKee. This is game 2 of a 2-game series against the Outlaws. Larks won last night in 8 innings. This one off the chest protector of Jacob Wyeth. Hagman moves to second, rounds it. He'll hold up there. Runner in scoring position now for Colorado Springs. 1-1. 1 away. Walsh looks in, grips the ball behind his back, takes a couple looks at Hagman. Off speed, misses high. Wyeth tries to frame it, 2-1. Bryce McKee led off the game yesterday, starting at second base for the Outlaws. Fouls his 2-1 delivery off 2-2. McKee last night 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, 1 to Kavanaugh, 1 to Hutchinson. 2-2. Walsh takes a glance at Hagman, delivers. The 2's delivery is called strike 3. Nice off speed that moves across the plate, ends up on the outside part of the zone. And it is his 4th strikeout. So now to Toby Scholes, the number 3 hitter, the left fielder. A runner in scoring position at second base. Scholes grounded out to Grant Lung in the first. Swing and a miss as Scholes was not on time with the delivery from Walsh. Colorado Springs still looking for their first hit, but they have had 4 different base runners. Walsh delivers from his right hand. This one up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Larks fans, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Hit that notification bell by the subscribe button, and you will get notified every single time we go live for each game. Never miss a minute of Larks action. Scholes fouls this one off past the fan pavilion on the left side, and we'll stay here in this at-bat. Count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away in the top of the third. Walsh looks in, looks at Hagman, and he'll deliver. This will be fouled off, just barely tipped from Scholes. We'll stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Walsh shakes off Wyeth. Shakes him off again. Nods on this one. Doesn't even look at Hagman. Fires in and a swing and a miss. As Scholes was far behind this one, Walsh strikes out all 3 outs in the third. Now he has 5 strikeouts in just 3 innings. Walsh looking good on the rubber. We head to the bottom half of the inning. 3-1 lead for Hayes. Leading off the bottom of the third for Hayes is Wyatt Divis. The DH struck out in the first. His second look at Chobon. Larks base coaches tonight. Bryce Baumward at first base. Leo at third. This one's grounded to McKee. Struggles with it at first, then gets a grip on it. Gives it to Olsen. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch for the Larks. Divis now 0 for 2 on the day. Unfamiliar sight for Wyatt Divis. So now to Corbin Truslow, grounded out to Ambiel in the first. The first baseman will dig into the left-hander's batter's box with 1 away and nobody on the bottom of the third. Chabon will go from the windup. Truslow's behind this one. Strike 1 swinging. No balls, 1 strike. Truslow now early on this one, sends it to the right side, 0-2. He read it well, had a nice swing, just a little bit too early. And that's the thing that's complicated about baseball. That pitch comes in so quick, just a 1/10 of a second later from a swing, but it sent the ball in a completely different direction. This one doesn't have to think about swinging, misses outside and high, 1-2. Larks wearing their red jerseys with the blue lettering, white trim, white home pants. Truslow sends this one into foul territory in that same spot. Protecting the plate will stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outlaws sporting their gray road pants, black jerseys with white lettering and a red trim. Chabon shakes off Mayberry once, agrees on the second one from the windup, gets Truslow to strike out. 2 up, 2 down for the Larks in the third.
Catcher number 27, Jacob Wyatt.
So now to Jacob Wyeth, reached on a drop third strike in the first, got to second base, was stuck there after Cooper grounded out to end the inning. For Truslow, doing a good job of putting the ball in play. That is just his first strikeout of the season. Wyeth swings and misses at his first delivery, 0-1. No balls, one strike, two away, bases empty in the bottom of the third. Larks up 3-1 as Choban delivers to Wyeth off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wyeth adjusts his jersey, digs back into the right-hander side, takes strike 2 looking. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now for the Wrangler from Cisco College, headed to Louisiana State this fall. This one off the plate again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So with Choban early, it's either in the zone or missing by quite a bit. And Larks have taken advantage of it. They got 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Choban improving here, got the first 2 Larks to go down on a ground out and a strikeout. Now has a 2-2 count on Wyeth. This one misses low and off the turf. A full count. Wyeth working his way back into this one. And we'll get the payoff pitch here from downtown Hays, Kansas. Choban will step off the mound, compose himself, and he'll go from the windup after barely stepping on the rubber. Wyeth protects the plate, fouls this one back. We'll stay at a full count. This last season, he batted .433 with a slugging of .633 and OBP of .538. You can see why LSU wanted this catcher, and he's hit by a pitch, and he heads to first base.
Third baseman number 4, Palmer Hutchison.
Wyeth will get replaced by Jace Armstrong, appearing in his first game for the Larks this season.
For Wyeth, number 20 from Fort Hays State University, Jace Armstrong.
He appeared late in the season for the Larks when they needed somebody to replace a lot of the guys we had injured. Didn't really play much. And for tonight, this is the second time he's running for Wyeth. Hutchinson sends a nice one into left center field. Advances Jace to second base. Hutchinson has his first hit of the day.
Right fielder number 18, Sean Cooper.
It is Armstrong at second, Hutchinson at first. Now Sean Cooper at the dish. His second plate appearance grounded out to McKee to end the first. This a similar situation as there's a runner on first and second with 2 outs for Cooper. He'll look to improve upon his last at-bat. Choban dangles his right arm, gets a sign from Mayberry, and he'll go from the stretch with 2 on, 2 out in the third. Delivers a heater that misses just outside. 1 ball, no strikes on Cooper. On deck is Cameron Pearson and the hole Drew Burr. Choban picks up his his left foot, delivers to Cooper, who sends it on a chop back to him. Mayberry will get it before Choban can, and the throw to Olsen is going to bounce off his glove. And he's going to have a talk with Mayberry as he said, "You located it in the wrong spot for me." So it'll be an E3 as Cooper reaches and Jace Armstrong scores. Heads up base running from Jace Armstrong to round third and get home. It's a 4-1 lead now for Hays. Second error of the night for Colorado Springs. Got to be frustrating for Choban. Could have had the inning ended there. But the Larks have rallied on 2 outs. They had a hit by pitch, a single, and now an error. And in that Kansas heat, it's dangerous to see out there for a pitcher. This is where you start to make bigger mistakes with the fatigue. 1 ball, no strikes on Cameron Pearson, who doubled in the second and then came around to score. Scored on a wild pitch, had some smart base running. Could have been a single for Pearson, but he rounded first, headed full speed ahead to second base. 2 outs in the third, 4-1 lead for Hayes against the Outlaws. Pearson sends it right to Ambio, the shortstop spot, who tosses it underhand to McKee. Larks will end the third. They get 1 in back-to-back innings. We head to the fourth, 4-1 in favor of your Hayes Larks. Top of the fourth, leading off is Justin Olson, the first baseman. After 3 innings and 5 strikeouts, it's a day for Patty Walsh. In his first appearance, taking over is Cole Zimmerman in his second appearance for Hayes. He's a southpaw from Fort Hays State University, stands at 6'4", sophomore's first delivery outside 1-0. Tiger goes from the windup. This one sent to left field. Burr will watch it hit the outfield wall after a bounce. It's a leadoff double for Olson. First hit of the game for the Colorado Springs Outlaws comes from Cole Zimmerman. Walsh had 3 hitless innings. In Zimmerman's last appearance, he went 1 2/3 innings, no hits allowed, struck out 4. So now to Alex Bates, the right fielder, lined out to Pearson to end the top of the first. Zimmerman gets the sign from Wyeth, looks at Olson, who has a small lead at second base, and he'll deliver from the stretch. This one low, 1 ball, no strikes. Larks have scored in each of the 3 innings they've batted in. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, making for a total of 4 runs off of 4 hits. Zimmerman nods at Wyeth, and there's time called. Last night, Bates 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. 1-0 delivery from Zimmerman. A fastball misses low off the turf. 2-0. One run for Colorado Springs. That was Hagman who came around to score off the RBI from Olson, who's at second base now, who just got his first hit of the day, first hit for the Colorado Springs Outlaws 3-0. First hit of the series for Olson in his fifth at bat. As last night he flew out, popped up, and struck out. Zimmerman behind the count will probably get a fastball here from the southpaw. That's what it is, right down the middle. Strike one as Bates was taken all the way. Hitter's count now for the right fielder. Zimmerman has to hit the zone here. Shakes off Wyeth once. Now gets the one he likes. Has his right foot offset of his left one. He'll go from the stretch. This one's sent high to left field. Drew Burr ranges back about 10 feet to his back and right. Olson starts to go, holds up. One out now in the fourth.
DH number 17, Mitchell Shaw.
Bates now 0 for 2 on the day. Shaw up to the dish now. 0 for 1 on the day with an error, reaching on an error in the second. Still the same defensive lineup for Hayes. Burr in left, Jiminian in center, Cooper in right, Trussell at first, Long second, Pearson at short, Hutchinson in the hot corner, and Wyeth behind the dish. Chase Armstrong has been running for Wyeth in his 2 times he's reached base. There's a rule that allows him to do that since he's the catcher. 1-0. Haven't heard anything about Max McGuire. He went down with an injury last night. Got injured running the bases and then caught the next inning before being replaced by Cameron Pearson. This one hit hard to right field. Cooper at the warning track makes the catch. Takes a crow hop, fires it in. Olson will be safe at third base without a contest, but now there's 2 outs. That was hit deep between the 319 and 349 signs in right field. Now to Tanner Mayberry, the catcher, struck out off of Patty Walsh in the second. McGuire wearing shorts tonight, so it was a designated day off for him after that injury. 1-1. Larks will need McGuire back. You don't want to have to put Wyeth behind the plate in every game. And Max McGuire is a great player, great defensive player. Had a great season for the Larks last year behind the dish. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Mayberry. Two away, runner on third base. Zimmerman will go. This one outside. Wyeth tries to frame it. Umpire still believes it was outside. 2-1. Off speed from Zimmerman makes Mayberry watch it in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the fourth. Due up for Hayes will be Drew Burr, Leo Jiminian, and Grant Lung. This one off the turf. Full count now. First full count of Zimmerman for the season. He'll deliver his first payoff pitch from the windup. Just barely missed outside on a fastball. Very close call. Unfortunate one for Hayes. It's a walk with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Mayberry at first, Olson at third, Carpenter at the plate, grounded out to Truslow to end this top of the second inning. Carpenter last night started in center field, batted 8th just exactly the same way tonight. Last night he went 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a double play, and a single. This one fouled over to the right side. No balls, 1 strike. Colorado Springs has left 2 on base tonight. In their first 3 innings, have scored 1. That was in the first inning. And have drawn 2 walks. 1 off of Walsh, 1 off of Zimmerman. Zimmerman looks at Mayberry. He'll go from the stretch. Nice moving pitch. Called strike 2. Looked like a slider from up here. Grips the ball behind his back. Looks in from Wyeth, will adjust the grip in his glove. And the 0-2 delivery is swung on and missed. The first strikeout of the night for Cole Zimmerman, number 5 of the season. We head to the bottom half of the fourth after Colorado Springs leaves 2 on base. Larks 4, Outlaws 1. Bottom of the fourth, leading off is the bottom of the order. Drew Berg grounded out for out number 1 in his first plate appearance. That was in the second inning. Berg, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against the right-handed pitcher, Choban. Lays off one outside. Choban will go from the windup versus Burr. Swings and misses at this one. Scoreboard says 1-1 count, but no sign from the umpire as there's been 3 pitches to Burr. Swing and a miss. Count must be 2-2, and that's the sign from the umpire. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Choban delivers. Runs inside and low towards the feet of Burr. Full count. The switch hitting left fielder awaits his payoff pitch. He sends it on a nice swing to right center field. It'll drop between Carpenter and Bates. Carpenter gets to it, but Burr is at first base with nobody out. Leadoff single for Burr, his first hit of the night. Leo Jiminian at the plate now, 1 for 2 with a single run scored and a strikeout. For Drew Burr, that is his 3rd hit of the season, all singles. Jiminian showing bunt, looks like a sacrifice as he had it before the windup even hit. Bounced off the turf. Choban says it hit his bat again. Has some words for the umpire. It's 0-1. Jiminian looks at the sign from Frank Leal, so if he shows bunt here, it's the first time Jiminian has showed bunt that early. Usually tries to lay one down, catch the defense off guard. Now he was showing bunts before the pitch was even thrown. Shows bunt a little bit, pulls back. We'll see if we get a swing here from him. Choban will step off the rubber. Holds up his hands to his catcher. Now looks in for a sign, gets it. Burr has his lead at first. 0-1 delivery, Jiminian above his head. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jiminian looks for a sign from Frank Leal. Step back in the right-hander's box. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Drew Burr's at first base. Larks up 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Takes a swing at this one. Tips it into Mayberry's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jemanian's third look at Choban in 4 innings. Check over at Burr. Burr slides in safely head first in plenty of time. Due up Lung, Divis, and Truslow after Jemanian. Vio will be first to protect the plate here. He's down the counts. Choban goes from the stretch. Jemanian does protect the plate, swings at one that he likely would have let off had the count be different, but he fouls it back. Will stay at 1-2. Drew Burr's hit was the 5th one of the game for Hayes. Colorado Springs had 1. It was their first hit of the night in the 4th inning off a double from Justin Olson. It's a leadoff base runner in scoring position for Hayes, but then Cole Zimmer did a nice job of not letting him get around to home. Jemanian fouls off another one. Staying alive, 1-2 will go again for pitch number 6. He chops at this one. It's ground to Ambiel. Throws out Burr at second base. No throw to Jemanian as the speedy center fielder was touching first before McKee was even squaring up his body to throw to first base. 1 away now, a runner on first still. Fielder's choice reaching for Leo Jemanian. Second base, second time he's reached base tonight. The first was on a single. He has scored the first run of the game for Hayes. It's Grant Lung at the plate, reached on an error in the first and then grounded out in the second. One away here in the bottom of the 4th. Lung versus Choban. Swings at this one. 2 strikes now on Lung. The 0-2 delivery misses low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Lung. One ball, 2 strikes with 1 away. Sends this one to Ambiel again, and he can't make a play on it between Hagman and Ambiel. Leo rounds second, heads into third. It'll be an E6 as Lung reaches on an error for the second time in 3 plate appearances. It is Lung on first, Jemanian on third after the error. So now to Wyatt Divis, a ground out and a strikeout on the day, 0 for 2. Imagine we'll see Grant Long take off for second at some point in this at bat. Divis's first delivery misses low. 1 ball, no strikes on the DH. Bond gets set, goes from the stretch to Divis, called strike 1. On deck is Truslow in the hole, Wyeth. One, Grant Lung takes off, no throw. Mayberry looked at Hagman trying to throw Leo Jemanian off at third. But no throw as Leo is back in plenty of time. 2-1 now on Divis. 2 in scoring position now for Hayes with only 1 away in the fourth. Already a 3-run lead. Long has a good-sized lead at second base. Be risky to try and pick him off at second base. I think that's probably why he has such a good lead, because you throw to second base, you obviously run the risk of it going into the outfield, which would score Leo easily, but even by the time the pitcher squares up, throws to second, and the second baseman gets it, and it squares up and throws to home, Leo Geminian could be home. Very speedy and quick center fielder. Great asset for Hayes on the base paths and in the batter's box and in the field. 2-2 to Divis becomes a full count. Another one that misses low and inside. No movement for Colorado Springs and the bullpen. Silent for Hayes as well, as Zimmerman just went 1 full inning, his first inning tonight. Patty Walsh had a day after 3 innings. Chabon looks in. We'll get a payoff pitch here with 1 away and 2 in scoring position. Davis lays off a close one. That's a tough one to lay off of. Chabon looks at the umpire, holds up his hands, but now the bases are loaded with 1 away. It's Long at second, Geminian on third, Divis at first. Bases jacked for Corbin Truslow. Had a hot streak coming in this game. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. And an RBI. Great RBI opportunity for the first baseman who leads the team in RBIs. First delivery, he tries to clear them all. Strike 1 swinging. Davis at first base has the only home run on the season for Hayes. It was a solo shot last night. 0-1 count with 1 away, bases loaded in the bottom of the fourth. Truslow swings at this one, misses under it. 0-2. On deck is Jacob Wyeth. If necessary, Palmer Hutchinson in the hole. Five hits for Hayes, just 1 for Colorado Springs. This one off the chest protector of Mayberry, bounces wildly to the backstop. Leo Geminian is in safely, standing up. 5-1 now Hayes. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Truslow. Geminian scores for the second time tonight. For Leo, that is his 7th run scored for the Larks, single-handedly in the lead. Nobody else has more than 5. One, 2 becomes 2-2 after this one misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 2 in scoring position. Truslow working his way back in the count after being down 2 strikes. Chabon still on the rubber as there's movement in Colorado Springs' pen. He sends the 2's delivery up the middle past the diving glove of Ambiel. Lung touches home and Divis hustles home to score off the bat at Truslow, extending his team leading RBI by 2. 2-run shot into center field on a ground ball. Makes it a 7-1 lead for Hayes in the fourth. So now to Jacob Wyeth. Strikeout and a hit by pitch on the day for the catcher from LSU. 1 ball, no strikes here for Wyeth. Grant Long just scored his 5th run of the season. As for Wyatt Divis, that was run scored number 4. And this is going to be a base runner for Hayes. It is ruled No ruling yet. I imagine, and it is ruled a hit as Hagman struggled with a third base. I probably would have ruled that an error, but we'll take the hit for Wyeth. His first hit tonight. Truslow to second, and Chase Armstrong comes in to run for Jacob Wyeth again. 2 on, 1 out in the fourth. Mound visit here for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Probably partially to try and get Chobon some composure as they allowed 3 runs or only 1 out in this inning, and maybe partially to get that reliever some time in the outfield to warm up. It looks like it's Braden Barker, the right-handed pitcher for the Outlaws, in the pen. So after the visit's over, it'll be Palmer Hutchinson at the dish. The 7th hitter this inning for Hayes. Burr started off with a single, then was out on a fielder's choice from Leo Jeminian. Jeminian scored, Grant Lung scored, Davis has scored after Lung reached on an error, Davis walked, Truslow singled, Wyeth singled. This one's sent into center field. Carpenter takes a couple steps back, and the runners will hustle back to the bases here. Now there's 2 away. Hutchinson now 1 for 2 on the day. Sean Cooper to the dish, reached on an error in the third, and then grounded out to end the first. The runs total here for Hayes not equivalent to the RBI total, as several have reached on pass balls and wild pitches. Tough day for Mayberry and Chobon. 7-1 lead for Hayes, 2 on, 2 out. Cooper watches this one miss high, 1 ball, no strikes here on the right fielder from Cochise College. One-0 delivery to Cooper, called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Now to Cameron Pearson on deck. It's Drew Burr in the hole. Cooper in the left-hander's batter's box. Swings and misses at this one. 1-2 count. Mayberry flinches a throw. Both runners back to the bags. Armstrong a decent-sized lead. Same for Truslow. Nobody's really keeping Armstrong in check at first base. Similar situation for Truslow. And Cooper will go down on strikes here to end the fourth. Larks get 3 in this inning, make it a 6-run lead for Hayes. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. into the game. Pinch hitting for Hayden Ambio is Brock Johnson. This one misses outside, 1-0. Top of the fifth, leading off, Johnson appeared in last night's game behind the dish. It's 2-0 on the count as Zimmerman returns for his second inning of work. 2-0 becomes 2-1 as off speed from Zimmerman starts outside, moves inside on the slider. 2 balls, 1 strike on Johnson. Same pitch. This one a little bit faster, a little bit more outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now it is 2 strikes. Excuse me. Full counts. Zimmerman from the windup, lefty versus righty. Off speed sent it into left center field. Jeminian ranges towards it, makes the catch on the run for out number 1. 1 away, base is empty here in the top of the fifth. Larks up by 6.
Third baseman number 22, Jaden Hagman.
Top of the order is Jaden Hagman up to bat. Has reached twice. Neither of them from hits. Hagman scored the first and only run of the game for the Outlaws. Sun is starting to set here in north central Kansas. This one popped over the right side, out of play. No balls, 1 strike, as we'll get set for this 0-1 delivery to Hagman, the righty. This one over the plate, but at the chin level of the third baseman, 2-1. 1-1. Off speed over Zimmerman's head. Pearson picks it up after a couple of bounces from the ball. Sends it to Truss slow, 2 up, 2 down for the Outlaws.
Second baseman number 12, Bryce McKee.
Now to Bryce McKee, the second baseman, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, both from Patty Walsh. Zimmerman finding a groove here after allowing a double in the 4th, and has retired 5 and has allowed 1 walk since. 1 ball, no strikes. Zimmerman had a whip last year at Fort Hays State University, his last condensed season, of 1.923. His freshman year had one of 2.261. Scoreboard reads a 1-1 count. He started 3 games for Fort Hays State University in his freshman year. Out of those 10 appearances, started 2 in his sophomore year in those 4 appearances. Went to TMP here in Hays, Kansas, was a first-team All-3A selection from the Kansas Association of Baseball Coaches. 1-2 count now on McKee. Made 19 appearances for the Monarchs in high school, went 11-2 with an ERA of 1.25. He'll go from the windup. This one a soft swing sent into shallow center field. Lung dives for it. Can't put the glove on it. It's a base runner with 2 outs. Second hit of the night for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Now to Toby Scholes, the left fielder, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. For McKee, that is his first hit of this series in his 7th at-bat. One away, runner on first here in the top of the 5th. Zimmerman gets set, delivers. This one misses just a little bit inside. 1 ball, no strikes. imagine it'll be a day for Choban as the pitcher has come in from the bullpen for the Outlaws. Swinging one hit over to Grant Lung, fields it, throws it to Truss, slow. 3 outs as the Outlaws leave one on base. We'll head to the 5th in the bottom half. Larks up 7-1. Bottom of the 5th here from Larks Park. Leading off will be Cam Pearson. New pitcher into the game for the Outlaws is Braden Barker, a righty from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. 1-0 on Pearson as this one misses inside. Pearson on the day, 1 for 2 with a ground out, a double, and a run scored. 1 ball, no strikes becomes 2 balls, no strikes. This one misses outside. This one grounded above the head of Barker, rolls into center field. It's his second hit of the day for Pearson. This one is a single to lead off the inning, his second leadoff hit tonight. So now to Drew Burr, 1 for 2 on the day with a ground out to McKee and a single. Burr, the switch hitter, will stay in the left-hander's batter's box versus the second consecutive right-handed pitcher. Takes a close one in the zone, 0-1. Pearson has speed. See if he will utilize it here for a stolen base. Off speed, misses high. Barker shakes his fist in frustration on the rubber. 1-1. This one close, very close. Umpire says it's in the zone, called strike 2. 3 pitches, no swings from Drew Burr. He'll be forced to protect the plate here. Barker looks at Pearson. There's a few feet of a lead. Off speed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Burr will take some practice cuts and he'll step back in the box as Leo Jiminian stands on deck. Pearson does take off. It's a good one to steal on as it was an off speed. Gave it more time to get to second base. It's a full count on Burr's, a miss inside, and Pearson's in safely, sliding into second base. Full count. Throw was to the right. The second base bag over to the shortstop, Johnson's side. That is not Johnson at second base. That's Hagman. They moved him over to shortstop after Ambiel was taken out of the game. It's a strikeout for Drew Burr. One away, top of the order with a runner in scoring position. The center fielder will step up to the box. On the day, Leo is 1 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice, a single, and then struck out in the second. Bottom of the 5th, Larks still up by 6. They've scored in every inning thus far except for this one. Ball was off the glove of Mayberry. Pearson slides into third, and they'll say he slid on the opposite side of the tag. That's the second time he slid on the opposite side of the throw. As number 13, Kit Wigington, that's Tanner Mayberry now at third base, replacing number 13, Kit Whittington. Mayberry now wearing the 13 jersey. He moved from behind the plate. Brock Johnson is now catching in his second straight game. Second time we've seen Pearson do that slide. Smart base runner and has good base running skills. Jiminian bloops one into right field. Bates will make the catch above his head. Pearson tags up. The throw is not in time. Pearson slides in. Aggressive base runner. Steals one base. Advances to third on a smart base running. And then tags up at third base. It's a sacrifice fly in the first RBI of the night for Leo Jiminian. So now to Grant Lung, 0 for 3 on the day, reached on 2 errors and a ground out. Off speed. Misses high, 1-0 on Lung. 2 away, bases empty, 8-1 lead for Hayes. They've now scored in every inning. Picked up 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 here in the fifth. Lung sends this one to left center. Carpenter lets it drop between him and Scholes. It rolls to the 349 sign in left center field. Lung around second base, heads to third. The throw is going to be just in time. It looked like he was going to be in there safely. Just couldn't get enough there as it was a good relay throw from the cutoff man in the outfield. So we'll head to the top of the 6th on Larks Network. Larks up 8-1. Top of the sixth, Cole Zimmerman returning for his third inning of work. Movement in the pen for the Larks. Can't make out who it is from here. It is a lefty. Cole Zimmerman gets the leadoff hitter, Justin Olson, who is not Justin Olson, it's a pinch hitter, Andrew Churchill. 0-1 on Churchill, replacing Olson, the first baseman. Churchill, a righty from Bellevue University. Zimmerman misses inside and low, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Churchill. Due up will be Bates and then Shaw. Swing and a lost bat over by the Larks dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Max McGuire will toss him his bat back. No limp for Max, so I'll take that as a good sign that injury wasn't too severe last night. 2-2, nobody on, nobody out in the top of the sixth. Outlaws trailing the Hayes Larks 8-1. Zimmerman will go from the windup. The 2's delivery grounded to Palmer Hutchinson. Fields it on a hop. Throws to Truslow, who can't make a play on it. It'll be ruled a hit as Churchill could have been in there on time. Leadoff single for the Outlaws. Alex Bates will step up to the dish. His second look at Cole Zimmerman flew out to Drew Burr in the fourth for out number 1 that inning. And he had one appearance against Patty Walsh where he lined out to Cameron Pearson. Zimmerman delivers an off-speed that drops into the zone, called strike 1 against Bates, the right fielder. Bates, one of the many guys for the Outlaws from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. That single from Churchill was just the second hit of the game, or excuse me, the third hit of the game for the Outlaws. Scoreboard reads an 0-2 count on Bates. Semi-crowding the plate from the right-hander's batter's box versus the left-handed pitcher Zimmerman. Zimmerman looks at Churchill, goes from the stretch. This one's fouled out of play backwards. We'll stay at 0-2. Movement in the pen for the Larks. Still can't make out who it is. They're no longer throwing. Looks like they're stretching now. 0-2 here in the sixth. From the stretch, the delivery from Zimmerman, grounded back at Zimmerman, loses it, throws it to Pearson for 1 to Truslow, is not in time. A close play, Bates beats it out by a step. 1 away on the fielder's choice. Good job of Zimmerman from recovering from the drop. Now to the DH, Mitchell Shaw, who will hit from the lefty's batter's box. One away, runner on first now for the Outlaws. Zimmerman stares at Bates, then delivers. Semi-check swing for Shaw. It's 0-1. Duo for Hayes in the bottom half of the inning will be Divish, Truslow, and Wyeth. Zimmerman gets set, throws a wild one outside into the right-hander's batter's box. Jacob Wyeth has good reaction, snags it, and will keep Bates at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 away, runner on first. 8 hits for Hayes, 3 for Colorado Springs, 2 errors apiece for both teams. This one off the turf, 2-1. All 3 hits for the Outlaws have been off of Cole Zimmerman, who replaced Patty Walsh at the start of the 4th. 2-1 count, Zimmerman from the stretch, off the turf again. Hitters count for the DH. On deck is Tanner Mayberry, in the hole A.J. Carpenter. Zimmerman gets the grip in his glove. Slow stretch, and it's sent to home outside. 5-pitch walk for Shaw, the second time he's reached tonight.
Number 13, Tanner Mayberry.
It's Bates to second, Shaw to first, Mayberry to the dish. Runners on first and second with 1 out in the top of the 6th. Larks leading the Outlaws 8-1. Mayberry 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a strikeout. Struck out against Walsh, walked against Zimmerman. Inside, will get check swing. Say he went. No balls, 1 strike on Mayberry, the new third baseman. This one misses just a little bit low on a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. On deck, A.J. Carpenter. In the hole, Brock Johnson. One ball, 2 strikes. Outlaws scored 1 in the first. It was with 2 outs when Churchill reached on an error. He drove in Hagman on that. And they've been held scoreless by combined effort from Zimmerman and Walsh. Curveball in the zone, called strike 3. Mayberry will walk to the dugout now with 2 outs. Second time he's gone down on strikes tonight. To A.J. Carpenter, the center fielder, 0 for 2 in the day, grounded out to Truslow to end the top of the 2nd, and then struck out against Zimmerman to end the top of the 4th. Carpenter, an outfielder from Folsom Lake Community College in California. No balls, 1 strike on the center fielder. Lights are on here in Hays, Kansas as the sun is setting. Wind has picked up a little bit moving in from right center field. 0-1 in the zone, off speed, just hung in the air for a while. Carpenter had a while to think about it, lays off. 0-2, Zimmerman, after allowing 2 base runners, and there being 1 out, has worked his way to being 1 strike away from ending the top of the 6th. Throws a fastball as he's in command of the count. Carpenter whiffs at it and sends us to the bottom half of the inning. The Larks leading the Outlaws 8-1. Bottom of the sixth we go. Leading off will be Wyatt Divis. Larks fans, make sure you follow the Larks on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Stay up to date with all things Larks all season long. First delivery from Barker to Divis. Misses outside 1-0. Barker's second inning of work. First look at Divis. Divis on the day 0 for 2 with a ground out, a strikeout, and a full count walk. Off the glove of Johnson. No sign for the umpire. Ball 2. Divis throws right-handed, bats left-handed. He's facing off against the righty Barker. Gets his hands ready to swing, lays off one. That's in the zone, called strike 1. On deck is the new addition to the roster. Just finished up his sophomore year of high school, Dylan Dreiling. It's a 5-pitch walk for Divis. It's leadoff base runner.
Number 29, Corbin Truslow.
And it will be Dylan Dreiling pitch hitting for Corbin Truslow. Dylan, a left-hander for Hayes High, had a dominant freshman season. Didn't get to play sophomore season as the season was canceled. Was committed to Tennessee before he even entered high school. Grandson of head coach Frank Leo. One and 0 is the count on Dreiling. There was a lot of hype surrounding Dylan when he was entering his first year at Hayes High for baseball. I announced the games for Hayes High that year, and I had to admit, the hype was real. This kid's the real deal. But for this one, he's going to ground into a double play, and there's 2 outs.
Catcher number 27,
I believe
Wyatt.
Dylan was the one warming up in the bullpen. I wonder if we'll see him on the mound. This would be the situation to put him in as the Larks are up by 7. Now to Jacob Wyeth. A hit by pitch and a strikeout on the day, a run scored. 2 away, base is empty for the catcher. Turns on it, sends it to Hagman at the shortstop spot, who eats it, sends it across the diamond to Olsen. 3 up, 3 outs for Hayes after the double play and ground outs. We head to the 7th after a quick 6th. Larks lead 8-1. Leading off the top of the 7th is Brock Johnson, who replaced Hayden Ambiel. New pitcher into the game for the Larks is Trey Riggs, as Dylan Dreiling replaces Sean Cooper in right field. Sean Cooper moves up to replace Corbin Truslow at first base. 0-1. Riggs has made one appearance on the season, and with his appearance into this game, 3 members from Hayes High baseball squad last year that dominated all across the league, as it's Palmer Hutchinson at third base, Trey Riggs on the mound, and Dylan Dreiling in right field. That team was coached by Larks coach Frank Leo and Keith Harper. 3 Indians on the field from Hayes High. A swing and a drop ball from Wyeth. Throws to Cooper at first for out number 1. Johnson out for the first time tonight. So now top of the order, Jaden Hagman with 1 away, bases empty, the shortstop. Larks up 7 against the Outlaws. Riggs, a righty from Dodge City, Kansas Community College, gets Hagman behind this one, swing and a miss for strike 1. Riggs made 2 appearances for the Conquistadors, had a 0-1 record, allowed 4 earned runs in 2 innings. Mentioned he played for Hayes High, and this time at Hayes High was a 2019 WAC Player of the Year, 2-time All-WAC first team member, and the 2019 Sports in Kansas 5A first team All-State. This one's grounded at his feet. Pearson makes a nice snag at the shortstop spot, moving in behind second base, throws to his teammate from Cochise, Sean Cooper at first base, 2 up, 2 down for Trey Riggs and the Larks.
Second baseman number 12, Bryce McKee.
So now to Bryce McKee, 1 for 3 on the day with a base hit and 2 strikeouts. Riggs, in that last year that Hayes High had a lot of success, went 6-2 with a 1.71 ERA. He'll go from the windup, righty versus righty. This one drops down and outside, 1-0. Riggs in that first appearance went 1 inning, allowed a home run. It was a 2-run shot. Swung grounded to Hutchinson at the third base side, makes a sidearm throw across the diamond. Cooper can't dig it as McKee rounds first base, heads to second. Dylan Dreiling throws in across the diamond to Hutchinson, who has to leave third base to get it. It's Jace Armstrong now in left field as he was backing up Hutchinson. So 4 members that are Hayes High graduates on the field now for the Larks. Armstrong was a senior when Trey Riggs and Palmer Hutchinson were sophomores for Hayes High. 2-away runner at second base. This one rolled an error. Would have been a tough snag for Cooper, who moved in from right field. I'm not sure if he has experience at first base. He's making some jokes over there, shrugging his hands over at Pearson. So who knows? 0-1. Cooper has played really solid in this last stretch of games. It's been a short season, but specifically in these last 3, he's played really well in right field and in the batter's box. It's Scholes, the left fielder, who's a former Lark, at the dish. 0-1 delivery, grounded to Lung, who makes the catch on the hop, throws it to Cooper, secures it in his glove. Trey Riggs has his first complete scoreless inning of the season. It's just his second inning pitching. We head to the bottom of the half of the inning, and we go to the 7th inning stretch. Larks up 7.
to the Larks Network.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th will be Palmer Hutchinson, the third baseman. On the day, he is 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a flyout. New pitcher into the game for the Outlaws is Jeremy Onken from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. Due up is Sean Cooper, Cameron Pearson, and Jace Armstrong. This one runs inside. Scoreboard says 1-0, but Hutchinson has seen 2 pitches. Check swing doesn't go, and they will say he goes from the first base umpire. I believe it is a 2-1 count. Excuse me, 1-2 count. Hutchinson lays off a dropping pitch from Onken. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on. Larks fans, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live for each game all season long. The 2-2 delivery, off speed, called strike 3 on Hutchinson. He'll head back to the dugout with 1 away.
Right fielder number 18, Sean Cooper.
That last inning was the first time the Larks haven't scored. As for the Outlaws, they haven't scored since the first inning. Cooper to the dish. Now the first baseman after moving in from right field. 0 for 3 on the day, a strikeout, a ground out, and he reached on an error from Olsen. 8 hits for Hayes. 3 for the Outlaws. Called strike 1 on Cooper. 3 errors for Hayes. Same number of errors for the Outlaws. 3 apiece. This one misses low between the catcher's legs. 1-1. On deck is Cameron Pearson and the holder Drew Burr. 1 ball, 1 strike. Onken delivers over the outside part of the plate on a changeup. 1-2. Cooper waggles his bat in the left-hander's batter's box. Swings and misses at this one. Second time he goes down on strikes tonight. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Larks. And there you have 2 outs in the bottom half of the 7. Pearson to the dish. 2 for 3 on the day, a ground out, a single, and a double. From Cochise College, he'll dig into the right-hander's batter's box. Righty versus righty. Onken goes from the windup. Tough one to lay off for Pearson as it was hanging in the air, but it still misses high. 1-0. Onken from Colorado Springs as this one's popped out of play. 1-1. Committed to the Utah Utes out of high school. Was ranked a top 500 overall player. The 25th overall in Colorado. Now he's a pitcher for the Mountain Lions in Colorado Springs. Redshirt freshman. Only had 1 appearance, went 1 1/3 innings, and 2 strikeouts. Two and 1 reads the scoreboard here from Larks Park on Cam Pearson. Duo for the Outlaws is Churchill, Bates, and Shaw. Pearson swings at this one, fouls it back to the backstop. 2-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 7th. We'll get time. Looks like Cam has something in his eye. A 2-2 delivery from Onken. Misses zone. He gives us a spin, and we'll have a full count. On deck is Drew Burr in the hole, Leo Geminian. And it'll be a drop third strike. Pearson hustles to first base. He won't be able to get there in time. We head to the eighth. Larks still up 8-1. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Top of the order we go. Leading off is Andrew Churchill, the first baseman. New pitcher of the game for the Larks is Jacob Inns from Fort Hays State University. The 5'11 junior seeing action once again. First pitch to Churchill, grounded into left field. It's a leadoff single for the Outlaws. That's Churchill's first hit of the game. Excuse me, his second hit of the game. For Inns on the season, made 2 appearances through 1 inning in each, has allowed 1 hit, struck out 4. Nobody out, runner on first for the Outlaws. Andrew Bates, the right fielder, at the dish. Inns delivers. This one outside, 1-0. On deck is Shaw in the hole, Mayberry. Inns made 12 appearances for Fort Hays this last year, started one of those, allowed 29 hits, a 3-1 record after 31 and a third innings pitched. Picked up 2 saves, struck out 43. This one again hits a left field. Jace Armstrong tries to make a diving grab, and they say he'll get it. Makes a throw to Cooper, who can't dig it. Could have had a double play. I couldn't tell from here if Jace had it. The umpire said he did secure it on the dive. I thought it was the ball that he dropped. It was his sunglasses as he picks him up and holds him to the dugout in celebration. So now there's 1 away. Good catch from a Fort Hays State Tiger. He played at Cloud County. Transferred to Fort Hays after his sophomore year. Mitchell Shaw, the DH, to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day with a reach on an air, a fly out to Sean Cooper in the 4th, and then walked in the 6th. This one popped to Grant Lung, makes the catch on the run. And then there's 2 quick outs all of a sudden. So now to Tanner Mayberry, the third baseman. Mayberry 0 for 2 in the day, 2 strikeouts, 1 from Walsh, 1 from Zimmerman. Walked against Zimmerman in the 4th. Outlaws down to their final 4 outs. Runner takes off. Wyatt stands up, throws it to Pearson. Had it not been for the hop, it could have been there in time. Umpire said it was safe when Pearson tagged the runner as Churchill moves up at 90 feet. think that's the first time we've seen somebody take advantage of Jacob Wyeth this season. He's been a force behind the plate, throwing guys out, creating double plays, blocking balls. Just been a beast back there. This one misses low, and the runner in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike. Innings looks in, and the southpaw checks at Churchill, delivers just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Defensive lineman now for Hayes is Jace Armstrong in left, Leo Jiminian in center, Dylan Dreiling in right, Sean Cooper at first base, Long at second, Hutchinson at third, Pearson at short, Wyeth behind the dish. This one's called strike 2. Due up in the bottom of the 8th for Hayes will be Jace Armstrong, Leo Jiminian, and Grant Lung. A 2-2 delivery, sidearm from Innings at the feet. And Mayberry will head to first.
Number 34, A.J. Carpenter.
So I couldn't tell if he was hit. Didn't look like he was hit, or it was either he was hit or the scoreboard at Larks Park was wrong again. Two on, 2 out in the 8th. Carpenter 0 for 3 on the day, a ground out and 2 strikeouts. Pops this one back to the net. 0-1. Ann's looks in, bent over, ball behind his back, gets a sign from Wyeth, gets his grip set, and he'll go 0-1, sidearm. Not quite sidearm, not quite 3/4. 1-1. Two on, 2 out, a swing and a miss on a ball that missed far outside. Ann's fooled him with that one as it moved late. And Wyeth did a nice job of keeping it in front of him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ends again 1 strike away from sending us to the bottom of the 8th. Checks at the runner, drives this one into the inside part of the plate, called strike 3. Innings has his first strikeout tonight. We head to the bottom half of the inning, Larks up 7. Bottom of the 8th we go. Leading off is the right-handed outfielder Jace Armstrong. His first appearance at the plate for the Larks this season. This last season at Fort Hays State, he was only able to hit in 2 games for a total of 3 at-bats, 1 hit. Cuts at this one, 0-1. Oh, and 2 as Armstrong takes this one looking. Still Onken on the mound for his second inning. 0-2 on Armstrong. Tries to protect the plate, swings and misses at this one. 3-pitch strikeout for Jace Armstrong, and now Onken has faced 4 batters and struck out all of them. So we go to Leo Jiminian, the center fielder, top of the order. Sacrifice fly, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and a single. He cuts at this one. Since it's a deep left field, Scholes moves back, stops in front of the warning track, and makes the catch. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Grant Lung steps up to the dish. The lefty will face Onken for the first time. Larks leading the Outlaws 8-1 with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Due up for the final 3 outs for the Outlaws will be Johnson, Hagman, and McKee. We'll have to try and start something to get the Outlaws back within the game. They're down by 7. Long doubled in his last plate appearance, was thrown out trying to reach third. It's called strike 1 on him here. Reached on an error in the first, grounded out in the second, then reached on an error in the fourth. Plays at the University of Sioux Falls. The USF player swings and tips this one back. We'll go 0-2. At the University of Sioux Falls, the Cougar went .314 this last year with a .400 OBP, 5 RBIs, .510 slugging. The 0-2 delivery to Lung. He grounds over to the first baseman, who gets a glove on it, and the throw back to number 21, Toby Scholes, who's actually playing first base. That's Carpenter in left field. My mistake. It's rolled a hit for Grant Lung as Scholes couldn't make a play on it. Bounced off his glove, and then he couldn't catch it. Lung ran him out. Second hit in 2 at-bats for Grant. Run on first with 2 away for Wyatt Davis, the 3-hole, the DH. Davis on the day, a strikeout, a groundout, and 2 walks, a run scored. Onken for the first time has a base runner. Davis grounds this one to Hagman at the shortstop, tosses it underhand to McKee, and we'll head to the 9th. Larks can't manage anything in the bottom half of the 8th, and the Outlaws will be down to their final 3 outs. Top of the ninth we go. New pitcher is Wyatt Divis for the Larks. He'll look to finish this one out. Outlaws down to their final 3. Divis on the season has pitched 9 innings, has made 2 appearances, 2-0. Both of those appearances were starts. Has only allowed 5 hits and struck out 13. An all-around player for Hayes. Larks fans, make sure you follow the Larks on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. And leading it off will be Brock Johnson for the Outlaws. On deck, Hagman in the hole, McKee. Davis will look to punch out these 3 guys. First delivery, a check swing sent over the Outlaws dugouts. 0-1. This is going to complete a 2-game series against the Outlaws. Larks will have Monday and Tuesday off and then go to Colorado for a doubleheader. Now, where we'll be playing, we're told that there is spotty internet connection. We'll try to do at least a radio broadcast where it'll be still broadcast on YouTube, but it'll just be audio. But first we'll try video. If that doesn't work like it did at the KCLB tournament, we'll do just audio. 1 away after a pop-up. So top of the order, Jaden Hagman. Hagman on the day, 0 for 2, 2 groundouts, a walk. Sorry about that one. All right, now that we're back, 1-0 count. Nice slider from Divis, called strike. 1-1 reads the scoreboard. 1 away, bases empty in the top of the ninth. Larks versus Outlaws, 8-1 in favor of Hayes. Swinging a line drive over the right side. Sean Cooper makes a diving catch. 2 up, 2 down in the ninth. Hagman smiles as he goes back to the dugout. Sometimes you just have to respect the opposing team and their defensive plays. Divis has a smile on the mound, and he knows they're down to their last out. So now to Bryce McKee, the second baseman, a double reaching on an error in the 7th. That double was in the 5th, and he struck out in the 3rd in the 1st. Two away, Divis will go from the stretch with the bases empty. Larks won game 1, 11-1 last night. The guy who's on the mound right now for Hayes walked it off. 11-1 thanks to that run rule. Assuming the Larks hold on to this lead and the Outlaws don't put on a phenomenal comeback, it'll be a 4-12 season for the Outlaws. Larks will move on to 5-1, and it's strike 2 called on McKee. Outlaws down to their final strike. Divis will take a breath and get ready to deliver to Wyeth. Oh-2 from Divis. Swung on a miss on a slider. 3 up, 3 down for Divis, continuing his great season, and that is going to be a ball game. Larks win it here, 8-1. Their first full game against the Outlaws this season. So they'll have Monday and Tuesday off. They advance to 5-1 on the season. They have the best winning percentage in the league. But they haven't played as many games as any of the teams. So like I said, we'll be back in action on Wednesday for a doubleheader. Internet connection in the stadium we'll be playing at, I've been told, is spotty. We'll try and do a video stream. If that doesn't hold up, we hope we can do an audio stream on YouTube. It'll still be on YouTube. You'll get to it the same way. You'll click on the video. There just won't be live video playing. You'll just hear the audio and commentary from the game. So we'll try that. Hopefully that works. And hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday. Larks win it here, 8-1. Patty Walsh, Cole Zimmerman, and Wyatt Divis and Jacob Inns all make appearance on the mound and hold the Outlaws to just 1. That's it here from Hays, Kansas. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. Hays Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me